Hello everyone and welcome back to this brand new video. Now for today we're going to be playing Simic Ramp. Now before we get into our deck, I'm pretty sure that you noticed that I have an intro now in my video, so please tell me what you think about it in the comments down below. And with that out of the way, let's get into our deck. So how does this deck ramp? That's a very good question. It does that using the usual culprits, which are Growth Spiral and Uro. Now this deck wants to ramp even further than that, and that's why it runs Arboreal Grazer and Cultivate. Now the cool thing with Cultivate is that it pairs very well with our 1-drop Arboreal Grazer because it gives you a land in your hand at any time where Grazer is not doing anything, and that's super cool. But one thing that I want to mention about it as well is that if Aether Gust becomes very relevant in the main board, I'm pretty sure you would cut down your Cultivate to maybe 3 copies or 2 copies. Now if that does happen, I would cut down my Cultivates to maybe run one more Dispute or run one more Krasis. And now you're probably thinking, yes, Aether Gust does hit Krasis, but if they want to Aether Gust your Krasis, I'm pretty sure you're fine with that because you're just going to gain life and draw cards again. So I'm pretty sure you're not worried about Krasis getting hit with a Gust. Now besides that, we are ramping, but what are our payoffs? Our payoffs include Nissa, which is a payoff, and at the same time it's a very good mana ramp card because Nissa makes all of our forests tap for additional green. And if you look at the deck, we are trying to capitalize on that as much as possible, and that's why we're running 8 and 4, that's 12, and we're running also the Triomes to have even more forests. So we are running 14 forests just to capitalize on Nissa as much as possible. Besides that, we are running Ugin the Ineffable, and it pairs very well with the other Ugin because it says that colorless spells you cast cost 2 less to cast, meaning that this Ugin now costs 6 mana if this Ugin is on the field. And besides that, Ugin gives Simic colors some interaction that they really need. Now if you don't know about this, Simic usually has the weakest removal, and Ugin is a way for us to remove with his -3, so that's something that really made me happy about playing this card in the main board. And the biggest payoff, the new amazing Core Set 2021 card, probably the future of standard post-rotation, Ugin the Spirit Dragon. This card does it all. It's a lightning bolt every turn, it's a board wipe, and at the end it ultis pretty quickly, like literally in 3 turns technically, and just takes over the game. So that's why we are running a full playset of Ugin the Spirit Dragon, because you want to see it as much as possible. Now for the mana base, since we're a 2-color deck, we have the luxury of playing 2 Blaststones in the main board. We're not playing too many because we do want some forests. We would rather have some forests rather than have some Blast Zones. Besides that, the last payoff I wanted to talk about with Hydroid Krasis. Hydroid Krasis is good on his own if you have like a bunch of lands on the field, but it gets even better when a Nissa is here, because Nissa simply pairs super well with Krasis because of the whole mana advantage she provides. And these two are something I'm not gonna miss in the post-rotation standard. Yes, I am playing this deck, but I think Nissa Krasis is a very unfair combo. Now going into our sideboard, we are running one more Arboreal Grazer. This is for the aggressive matchups where you kind of need a blocker to stop it. And the cool thing with Grazer is that it's a 0/3, so it's a big wall that mono red usually cannot get over unless they use Stomp on it after they attack with a 1/1, and I'm pretty sure you're fine with trading 3 damage for just a 1/1, so you wouldn't mind that. We're running one more copy of Aether Gust because this card is simply amazing in this meta due to how much there's red and green decks in this current meta. You have Cruel, you have Reclamation. Any deck usually right now is either running green for Growth Spiral, or it's running red for like to be aggressive or just to play Expansion Explosion. So Aether Gust is a very good card currently. Negate if we're running into other ramp matchups or into Temur Reclamation, and then we want to stop their non-creature spells. Scavenging Ooze is good versus Temur Reclamation because it kills their Uro, and it's also good against the Cat Oven decks, especially that you have so many forests in play usually that you can use this ability multiple times. Wilt is also here against Reclamation and Cat Oven. Besides that, Borrower is usually brought in against control decks because sometimes you do need a flash threat. And speaking of flash threat, I'm playing Shifting Ceratops and not Nightpack Ambusher, but Nightpack Ambusher does work in this slot as well. I've been testing it. But Shifting Ceratops, the cool thing with it is that when it sticks, it usually takes care of the game in a couple of turns, and they can't chump block it with Shark Typhoon, and that's why I prefer Shifting Ceratops over Nightpack Ambusher. But that does come to personal preference. If you do want to play Nightpack Ambusher, you can do that. And the last card I am playing is Shark Typhoon because yet again in the control matchups you don't want to tap out on your turn unless you made sure to force them to tap out on theirs, and because of that you are playing cards like Shark Typhoon. So that's gonna be pretty much it for the DeckTech. But before we get into our games, I would like to please ask you to subscribe because it helps the channel a lot. If you want to help the channel any other way, or if you want to support the channel more, you can check out my Patreon link in the description down below. And with that, let's get into our games. Going into our first game of Simic ramp, and yes, I am playing best of 3 on ladder. This is obviously not a hand you want because you have no ramp and you have no green source, so you're obviously gonna mulligan. This is an even worse hand because you only have 1 land, and I never run into these issues when I'm testing. I only run into them when I'm recording a video, so let's see. I think this is a very good hand. Cultivate might just get us back into this. The question is, do I want to keep Dispute or Gust? I think we can bottom Gust safely. And then the question is Spiral good enough in this hand? I don't think it is, just simply because it's gonna... I could play turn 1 Vantress and then turn 2 Spiral, and then try to go into Cultivate that way. I guess that's better than keeping Dispute up, because I'm not gonna keep it on turn 1 anyways. I mean, I'm in a very tough spot just because we mulligan down to 5, so like my mulligan decisions here, I mean my bottom decisions are not gonna be optimal. And sadly we are running into an aggro deck, and of course we top deck a card that we just bottomed, and that's bad against this matchup. So life is going the usual. I mean, our Gruul matchup are like, if this is Gruul, but our aggro matchups usually are not that bad, simply because we have so many ways to deal with these creatures, and especially when Ugin hits the field. When Ugin hits the field, it's usually game over, and they don't out-argue you that much to the degree where you can't even slam your Ugins. And a big evidence for all of that is that, alright, he's playing white. I did not expect white, to say the least. Alright, so a big evidence to that is that this deck won the SCG Online challenge, and second place was an aggro deck. So like, this deck does actually perform pretty well against other aggro decks. So let's see what happens. He probably has another one of these in his hand and he wants to flash it in now. So let's hope he doesn't have one. I really don't want to face another Nightborn Preserver, especially because it's gonna pump this one to a 3/3, and then he can untap, play whatever he needs, and then pump it even more. Blast Zone is not something I want to show him. If we're already that behind, I'd rather him not know about it. I think we just play our Cultivate, and then next turn we can Krasis. Krasis is very good in this situation, just because of like the advantage he gets us, the life gain, and all of that. So I want to wait one more turn until we play our Krasis, because next turn we get to play it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then that's gonna gain us 2 life and draw us 2 cards. Sadly, this Vivian is gonna resolve, but I mean, what can we do about that? We can't do anything. I'm gonna get another blue source in case we draw our Uru. I'd rather have some blue sources. And Vivian is gonna take over the game pretty quickly if I can't stop her. We do need to top deck an Ugin, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're not that far away from Ugin. And Aether Gust is also a good pickup off the top. I'm gonna play this for 4. Alright, so let's just play this for 4. And we draw our Ugin. We're not that far away from casting it. We just need to survive one more turn. Like, not one more turn, no, one more turn after the one we get. Because currently we have 5, 6 mana. We need to top deck a land either this turn or the one after. And then we have Gust and Mystical Dispute next turn, so that could be enough to save us. Ajani is a problem, to say the least, because my trade is now a chump block. Actually, it's not even a chump block because he has trample now. So do we have a way to survive? That's the question. Don't think we do now, do we? No, this will not be fun to watch. This will not be fun to watch. Yeah, I think we're pretty dead, aren't we? Alright, so another Ugin is not what I wanted to see. If we got the stick or Ugin, we would have literally won the game. Alright, so let's just concede and go into our game 2. Mystical Dispute was obviously a very bad card currently because it wasn't running that many cards, so I guess I can safely take it out. I'd rather get one more Gust, 2 Borrowers, and then do I want the Shark Typhoon? Actually, I don't think I want the Shark Typhoon. Besides that, what do we take out? I think we pretty much run the same exact list, but just Dispute was a very bad card in this matchup. Do I want to add anything else? I really don't think so, so let's just run with that matchup. I mean, Negate is an option, but Negate is very awkward. Very awkward when he's playing creatures, so like, let's see what happens. Alright, so we're going second, we're going first, and let's see what we get. Alright, so Cultivate turn 3 or Uro turn 3 is a very good pickup, especially that we have a payoff for the turn after, so I guess we're gonna keep this hand. And I'm gonna lead with my Temple of Mystery because I would want to see the top card of my deck. Maybe it's a Dispute, maybe it's a Gust that can stall him a bit. Alright, so Temple of Mystery. Growth Spiral off the top is very good because now we can play Cultivate a turn ahead. So like that's better. Alright, the Ozolith is a very weird card. So that's cool. I mean, what I meant to say is that we could play Cultivate and keep something up in case we draw something. Scavenging Ooze is the least of my worries. Yes, I have an Uro in my hand, but I mean, Uro is not the main game plan of this deck, and you probably know that. So let's just play a land, and then we cultivate, get a blue source, get a green source. I want a green source on the field. Why am I playing a green source on the field? Because in case we draw our Nissa at any stage, I want to have as many Nissa targets, or not Nissa targets technically, Nissa forests on the field to make it that much better. Alright, so Ozolith I guess pairs pretty well with Ooze and this. We're gonna keep Ugin up until we can play him and cast him on the same turn. I don't want to give him counters for this. So let's just play our Ugin and let's just start making card advantage and forcing him to deal with it, and he just forgets our face because of that. I mean, Eland is not what I wanted to see, but I mean, sure. Alright, so he probably has a removal spell, I'm gonna assume. Is this a removal spell opponent and then you attack Ugin, kill it? That would be very sad, but I mean, we can play krasis next turn. We can't escape Uro, and we can't play Uro and escape it on the same turn quite yet. So it is a kill my Ugin turn, and that's very, very sad. I mean, Ugin, you're gonna be missed for a long time, my friend. You're definitely gonna be missed for a long time. Although you're now dead. Alright, so I mean, things happen. Question is, do I want to... I think we Temple of Mystery and then we Krasis. That's the best play. Don't want a land to scry because I don't think it's a matchup where I get the luxury to scry. So we just play our Hydro Krasis for 4, hope he doesn't have another Ferocious Hydra, and we draw our Ugin, meaning that we have something to kind of pay us off for all of that. Because like -3 Ugin deals with this, and then if he plays his Vivian, it deals with even one more threat. That I guess is a very hard thing to come back from as an aggro deck, because usually most aggro decks don't have that much card advantage, so Ugin board wiping is not something that they can deal with very well. Also, it says when they leave the battlefield, right? Does it? I was reading it. It says leaves the battlefield. Alright, so I was checking if it cares about exile or not, if it cares about dying or not. So we're gonna be taking a huge... how much did we take? 9 damage. Sorry if I'm a bit off of it, but I'm a bit sick. So let's just play our Ugin, and now let's just -3 this Ugin and kind of deal with 3 threats on the same time. So -3 this Ugin. I'm sorry opponent, but this and this is gonna leave. Now the main thing that's sad is that he gets to deal with one of my cards in graveyard, but I wanted to Uro, and he gets 4 counters on his Ozolith, so any like top deck could be a bit more scary, but thankfully we have Gust to take care of that. Why does it make it a bit more scary when every top deck's a threat? Because I can't just Lightning Bolt it anymore, because simply he's gonna give it 4 counters, whatever it is. Alright, so Prime Pride Mulkin is fine. I mean, sure, it's gonna be huge, but we can just Aether Gust it, so I'm fine. Alright, Nissa is a decent top deck, but do I want to play Nissa now, or do I want to check my top card? I think we just slam in Nissa. Yeah, I definitely think we just slam in Nissa. And now I'm just going to plus this island. Is it? Wait, so let's think about it quite well. I could play double Uro this turn because this stops for 2 Uro and then this stops for 2 Uro. I guess we want to play double Uro, but I'm gonna attack just in case he blocks, because we can just Ugin shoot down the Pride, and I'd rather just limit his creatures as much as possible. He does not fall for it. Opponent is a smart player, so let's just shoot his face, and then let's just Uro, play a forest, and then we can Uro again. So Uro again, and because I want to keep Aether Gust up, I'm gonna... we have 2 more islands, so I can just play Fabled Passage and he won't know that I have Aether Gust up. So that should be enough to end our turn. Now we have 2 Planeswalkers that he needs to deal with, and Nissa usually takes care of the game pretty quickly. And next turn we're gonna have an Uro that we can bring back, so things are looking good for us, to say the least. Now, if he goes Primal Might makes them fight only creatures. I was thinking of maybe the Umbree's Ambush, because it does let you fight Planeswalkers, so I think I was imagining it. Let's see what he does. So, he's highlighting Ugin, like, a bit too much, like, and then Nissa, and then Ugin, and then Nissa, and then his creature. Yeah, he's considering quite a bit what he wants to kill. Alright, so he's just going to attack. Heroic Intervention would be annoying, so I'm gonna Aether Gust before blocks. Actually, I think we Aether Gust after blocks just to make sure that we have a blocker anyways. So let's just go into blockers, because if I Aether Gust, I'm gonna have to tap my mana. And if I tap my mana, my land is gonna be tapped and we can't block with it anymore. So let's just Aether Gust this. If he has something to stop it, I mean, feel free to go for it, opponent. If you want to go for Heroic, you can go for it. Alright, he did not have Heroic, and with that, let's get into our third game. Our third game is not scared that much about our third game. Why did I not bring in Ooze? Because I'm gonna usually exile all of his creatures and all of his threats. So because of that, I'm not gonna have a way or like anything to exile anyways with Ooze. So that's why I did not bring it in. Alright, so opponent probably did not expect us to run Ugin the Ineffable. Maybe that's why he's sideboarding again. Or maybe he's just afraid of Simic ramp. But I really do enjoy this list. I think it's a very good list, and it's not that worse than other ramp decks like Bant or Sultai. I've been enjoying it quite a bit. Alright, so opponent is still sideboarding. Alright, so finally he finishes his sideboarding tricks, and let's just hope he does not sideboard and destroy us completely with his secret sideboard DeckTech. So opponent obviously wants me to go first, because that's always something you want. Alright, he doesn't want me to go first. That's sad. I mean, we have a good turn of events. We have Triome, Vantress, Spiral into... Yeah, I think I like my hand. We have Gust, we have Spiral, we have a bunch of things to do. Is this... Alright, so there's no Pelt Collector, which I'm very fine with. Alright, so we have turn 2 Cultivate. Turn 2 Cultivate is insane. This is the main thing I like about this deck. Turn 2 Cultivate is very hard to come back from. I should have expected this actually, because he is playing Selesnya. I mean, why would you play Selesnya if counters if not for the Mentor? But I mean, it's theoretically fine. I could just take a turn off and then Aether Gust. I think we definitely take a turn off and then we Aether Gust. I don't want to deal with a huge Voracious Typhoon, or Voracious Hydra, sorry. So opponent is considering whether he wants to keep it on top or not. That does maybe tell me that he doesn't have another land in his hand and he wants to draw lands. He probably doesn't have a bunch of lands in his hands and he wants to draw lands. So that's a very good curve actually. I'm impressed of what this deck can do. So I think we just slam in our breeding pool and then we cultivate. Get in a little forest, get in an island, and then usually we put the forest on the field and the island into our hand. Now next turn we can play our land, play Nissa, untap breeding pool, and then Growth Spider on the same turn. I'm not really afraid of Vivian because we're not that far away from playing Ugin. And then if we play Ugin, I'm pretty sure we're safe when it comes to getting back into this game and surviving. So let's just play our island, and then as I mentioned, we're gonna untap our breeding pool, and so we can Growth Spiral and get back a land on our field. So we're not gonna do anything, and we're just going to wish and hope that he does not have Primal Might, because Primal Might is quite brutal at this stage, because it makes him deal with our Nissa and it makes him deal with our land. So two things that I don't want him to deal with, obviously. If he just attacks our Nissa, I think we're fine with just letting her die. Let's see, so he's probably gonna proliferate here. He can ulti now, which I don't mind that much because it makes sure that our Nissa survives, but I don't think he's gonna ulti. Is he going to do that? I don't think so. He can probably still wait one more turn, and I hope he waits one more turn because we can just slam in Ugin next turn if he does and then win. So let's see what he does. He's highlighting my breeding pool. Please stop highlighting my cards. It makes me feel worried that you have something. So let's see what is going to happen. Alright, so he puts some counters, so now I'm gonna have to block because I don't want Nissa to die. Alright, I mean, it's not that bad of a trade. I'm pretty sure we get to slam in Ugin next turn anyways. Alright, so pass the damage. Sure, we're gonna we're gonna use breeding pool. This actually makes me consider the plan of cracking this, or just playing this and then Aether Gusting the Voracious Hydra. That's something I have in mind. Is it worth it though? Our next turn, I'm gonna pay 2 life anyways, just in case he has like a pump spell or something that kills our Nissa, but I don't think I'm gonna use the Gust. Alright, so he did not have a pump spell, but I mean, better safe than sorry. Because like I really don't know what my opponent is playing when in his main deck. Alright, so we're gonna obviously slam in Ugin, and now we're just going to exile his whole board by just minusing 4 Ugin. Do I need to worry about anything? No, because like Ugin doesn't kill off anything from our side. So minus 4 Ugin. Goodbye Vivian, goodbye threats, goodbye other threats. We're just going to... Sure, you can take all of the counters you want. I'm pretty sure I'm ahead. Borrower is an insane pickup. So I'm just going to plus on top yet again a breeding pool because I want to keep Aether Gust up, and we just attack. See, this deck is super fun to play, and right now he's an aggro deck, but we're overpowering him. We're simply just so ahead currently ramp-wise that it's not even funny for my opponent. And the opponent just simply does not want to continue this game. So guys, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please do consider subscribing because it helps the channel a lot. And before I sign off, I would like to thank my patrons because they are the ones that are making my content possible. And a special shout out to I am Mark Mac. And with that, I'll see you guys next time.